WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight at 10. Today marks 5 months since the first case of COVID-19 was reported in Mississippi. And for the first time in weeks, state officials are offering a more encouraging message. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
I ask folks how they would describe the last 5 months of COVID-19 in Mississippi.
One day to the next, you feel different emotions. Sad and angry and scared and confused.
I thought it wasn't going to be that bad, like just heard of a virus in other countries, but I'm kind of tired of it now. I wear my mask every day, but I know we have to do it to protect people, but I think it'll get better soon.
It's scary, don't really understand what's going on, but after a while, you just kind of have to deal with it as it comes.
Governor Tate Reeves Tuesday asked people to understand that there is good news.
2 weeks ago, we saw 1,342 new cases. Today, we had less than half of that. That's good. It shows that we're beginning to turn the corner.
But it's not time to let our guard down. Rather, we should double down on our efforts, according to Dr. Thomas Dobbs.
We need to have the long view. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. In the summertime, people were ready to throw off the restrictions and go back to normal, or even more than normal in some cases, and we've paid the price for it.
As for some of the lessons learned in the last 5 months,
expect the unexpected every single day. No matter what you plan for, no matter how many hours you spend looking at the data today, it's completely different tomorrow.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
Keeping up with the statistics is something state health leaders are looking at, particularly when it comes to tracking COVID-19 cases as colleges go back to class. Right now, a positive test is attached to a person's zip code. This means that a Mississippi State student who tests positive in Oktibbeha County will likely be counted in their home county. But this week, State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs says the health department is looking at other ways to track positive cases as college classes begin.
We are shifting the majority of our case investigation and contact tracing resources to students in K-12 and college because we know that this is such a vulnerability. We want to make sure that we can do more in-depth investigations around those kids and teenagers and young adults.
Dr. Dobbs says one option that they're looking at is to attach the student's test results to the zip code of the clinic where he or she receives the COVID test. The future of high school football is still up in the air in Mississippi as school districts closely monitor the COVID-19 pandemic. Football players in Caledonia, they're staying in shape and getting ready for the upcoming season. But for the seniors on the football team, even thinking about the possibility that this season won't happen or be cut short, it doesn't set too well. They know the school year is going to be entirely different, but they're hoping that the page is turning for the better.
Our mindset going into this year is just trying to do whatever we can to be able to have our season this year because, for most of us it's our last one ever.
I'm just ready to go back to school. I'm getting bored of staying at home and I want to be, around people more of my friends and that are just on the team.
The start of the school year for Caledonia High School is set for September 1st. Mississippi State University students are moving back on campus for the fall semester. Move-in day is usually a busy time on campus, but this year it looks a little different. Students are given a specific date and time to check into their residence hall due to the COVID-19. For safety reasons, everyone is encouraged to wear masks and pass a mandatory screening. Also, only 3 family members are allowed to help students unload items. MSU Department of Housing and Residence Life designed a traffic flow map to ensure social distancing during move-in times. Students will be moving in until August 15th. The National Guard, Mississippi State Department of Health, and the University of Mississippi Medical Center offered another round of COVID-19 tests. Today, the drive-through testing site, it was in Okolona at the Vocational Center. Now, people had to make appointments ahead of time to get that test. State health workers, along with the Mississippi National Guard, have been conducting these drive-through testings at different locations across the region ever since the summer. The tests are available for anyone experiencing COVID-19 symptoms or if you think you've had exposure to someone with the virus. Another drive-through testing site is happening Friday in Starkville. For a full list of future drive-through testing sites, you can find that at the State Department of Health's website.
Pretty good lightning show across our region on this Tuesday evening. Earlier in Starkville, you can see one of those vivid strikes right here. We still have a lot of that lightning ongoing right now. Let's take a live view in downtown Columbus, looking back to the northwest. And here's downtown. There's some of that lightning on the horizon. We have some storms with some good downpours. Lots of lightning now moving into western Noxubee County, west of Macon and Brooksville. That's coming your way. Just to the northwest of Columbus here in Clay County, especially approaching Aberdeen. Some good downpours, thunder and lightning. There could be some small hail and some gusty breezes, maybe over 30 miles per hour in this, but nothing severe, nothing we haven't had before, but a pretty good light show and some heavy downpours right around Mantachie as well. So we're thinking a lot of this goes away by midnight. Some of it could linger a little bit later than that. Low 70s, warm and muggy. And then tomorrow we will just repeat this. Highs in the 90s with more scattered storms. Your full 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden makes his vice presidential pick. It's California Senator Kamala Harris. This afternoon, he made the reveal to supporters and on social media. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Joe Biden has made it official. He's picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate. She is only the third woman and the first black woman to be on a major party's presidential ticket. The California senator tweeted moments after the news broke, writing, "I'm honored to join him as our party's nominee for vice president and do what it takes to make him our commander-in-chief." Harris was considered a front-runner herself when she launched her own bid for the Democratic nomination and went after Biden during a primary debate last summer.
You also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
On Twitter, Biden called Harris a fearless fighter for the little guy, adding Harris worked closely with his late son, Beau, when she was Attorney General of California. Former President Obama tweeted his approval of the ticket, saying, "This is a good day for our country. Now let's go win this thing."
While Harris's record as a former prosecutor and California Attorney General has been scrutinized, as a senator, she's become a vocal proponent of sweeping police reform.
Biden had promised to pick a female running mate, and he put together a list of 13 candidates that his campaign vetted before he made his final decision. The president attacked Biden's choice in his daily coronavirus briefing.
She did very, very poorly in the primaries, as you know. She was expected to do well, and she ended up at right around 2% and spent a lot of money. She had a lot of things happening, and so I was a little surprised that he picked her.
The Trump campaign swiftly attacked Kamala Harris, claiming she would, quote, aid the extreme agenda of the radicals on the left. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Biden and Harris will appear together tomorrow at an event in Wilmington, Delaware. All right, we're going to send things back over to Chief Meteorologist Gibson. Keith, I guess by the time we get off, we're going to be dodging some raindrops.
Oh,
it looks
yes.
like.
It could be kind of interesting if you have to be out driving here for the next couple of minutes. Some pretty good downpours. We are still looking at lightning here popping up on our Alpha Insurance camera network and burning at Durham's Pharmacy, Columbus here. There's Tupelo, Louisville. You had your storms. Boy, it's a very vivid night out there. Heavy downpours. We're going to do this again tomorrow. Your radar check and your 7-day forecast next. Stay with us.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some busy weather out there this evening. If you're interested in the forecast for tomorrow, real quick, we'll get this right out of the way. The 90s, hot, humid, the heat index flirting with 100 degrees, more scattered storms. So that's the way it's looking. This is how it looked earlier this evening. Our Alpha Insurance time lapse from downtown Columbus and building storm clouds here. Those were way west of Starkville, but now those storms coming a little bit closer to the friendly city. Let's have another look at our Alpha Insurance camera network. Look at the light show there in Columbus. We have a pretty good storm right over the Air Force Base right now. And let's go ahead and check out our 3D radar. These things are just towering up. Some of these today have been up to about 50,000 feet. So we have a wall of rain, lightning, and gusty breezes there near Macon, also northwest of Columbus. Let's show you the radar picture. So Louisville, you've had your storm, Noxubee, all clear for anything too intense right now. But from Crawford to Brooksville to Macon, western Noxubee County, lots of rain, lots of lightning. And speaking of the devil, there's the Air Force Base right here, and right on top of it, it is coming on down. There could be a little bit of small hail in this, and also some steadier rain and heavier rain back towards West Point, Clay County, and near Aberdeen, too. The rain up here near Tupelo and Mantachie. Still some downpours here, but it's beginning to lighten it up, and we think a lot of this will be done by midnight. Now, some of you have picked up over 2 inches of rain this afternoon and this evening. Some of you have not even had a drop. So pretty spotty activity this time of year. That's what usually happens in late summer. So this will be fading shortly. There's a little disturbance, an upper air disturbance back to the west in Arkansas, and that will give us a chance for some additional activity as we go throughout the next few days here. So stay tuned for more radar coverage as we get into the next few days here. Tomorrow morning, maybe a stray shower or a thunder shower, much like this morning, but I think it's going to be pretty quiet. By midday, more storms and showers will start to bubble on up around our region. A lot of that will carry over into the evening, then tend to dwindle, but some of it could linger tomorrow night and stay with us here Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon, scattered showers and storms again. But because of the cloud cover, the rain chances, we think temperatures will be a little bit lower overall, not as extreme. Here's our first alert forecast for tomorrow. Let's check it out. We've got, who do we have tonight? Come on, computer. All right, we got Bobby, a good-looking cat, just hanging out there on top of the fridge. Now, get ready for some more showers and storms here tomorrow. We think 70s to start out, flirting with 90 by midday, and again into the 90s in the afternoon. And there will be a chance for some storms really about any time tomorrow, but I think most of it will be late morning onward, much like today. So rain chances pretty elevated. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. We will bring things down a few notches here for the end of the work week. Not as hot, but still very humid. Rain opportunities lower a bit for the weekend, so if you have any outdoor plans, it probably won't be a washout, but there still could be a few storms around. Highs well into the 90s. By Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, probably cooler, drier, less humid, maybe some 60s returning after all these muggies.
2 teens spent their summer learning about cybersecurity. We'll explain the reason behind the course and why it was a big deal for these teens. That's coming up next.
You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. 2 Aberdeen High School students spent a big part of their summer in front of computers learning about cybersecurity. As WCBI's Allie Martin reports, the pair were the only Air Force junior ROTC students in the state chosen for the new program.
Michaela Davis and Joy Adair are getting a look at a wind machine their junior ROTC instructor has just put in the classroom. Davis will be a junior, Adair a senior, and both have been known for their eagerness to learn and do more than what is expected. That is one reason they were chosen for a pilot program called Cyber Academy, where they learned about cracking computer codes, how to catch hackers, and other topics.
It was an 8-week course, and it basically amounted to like an entry-level college computer science program. The students actually earn 3 semesters of college credit for the 8-week program.
Instructor Alan Williams says the junior ROTC program at Aberdeen is one of 30 nationwide chosen for the program. Initial plans called for Cyber Academy to be held at Mississippi State. Students were to spend 7 weeks on campus and then travel to Keesler Air Force Base to visit the Cyber Schoolhouse. But COVID-19 changed those plans, making it a virtual academy.
It's really to these students and the organizers' credit, because there's any number of other summer programs that ended up being canceled. And not only did this program not get canceled, you know, these students went on and did a really good job of fighting their way through in really trying times.
Davis and Adair took the classes from their homes 5 days a week. Both cadets say they learned a lot, and they're confident their experience will help them in the future.
I just knew it was very disciplined. You know, you get really good life skills. It just makes you different from every other student that just simply goes to school, you know.
It'll help me like probably get into college easier, and plus this could be like another field if my pre-med field doesn't work out, I can fall back on this to help me get a job somewhere.
Future plans for the program call for partnerships with local industries so cadets can get internships and see how the skills they learn are put to use in the real world. In Aberdeen, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
An advanced cyber academy will be offered next year, and both cadets say they plan to apply for that course. One North Mississippi college says there won't be football this fall due to COVID-19. Courtney Robb has all those details coming up next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
Breaking news out of Scuba this afternoon. Five-time national champion EMCC announcing they will not be participating in football this fall. The Lions saying the decision was made due to safety challenges amid the coronavirus pandemic. Shocking news because just in late July, the Mississippi Association of Community Colleges opted to delay the JUCO fall season to October 1st. The decision followed the NJCAA's decision to postpone fall athletics to the spring of 2021. As of now, the Lions are the only team not planning to continue with football this fall. EMCC will honor student-athlete scholarships. The high school football tour continues on in 4A. Our next stop checks in with Caledonia. Caledonia found its way to the playoffs in 2019, and the goal in 2020 is to do even better. Caledonia is stop number 51 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
Following an improved 2019 season, Caledonia football is ready to compete. Caledonia returns with a lot of confidence following a 5-6 season and the team's first playoff appearance since 2016. Now, Caledonia looks to build on that positive momentum during the upcoming season.
Over the last 2 years, we've made a lot of progress. Our young men have put a lot of work and commitment into this. We hope it pays off. You know, we're blessed every day to be able to be out here and continue playing football with all that's going on. And if we're fortunate enough to be able to make it to the football field, we got a lot of experience, a lot of returning players, and we hope that confidence pays off. We hope it can turn into productivity on the field, and we can continue to move our program in the right direction.
Caledonia loses some key players at skill positions to graduation, such as former quarterback Brandon Edmondson and wide receiver Anthony Triplett. However, Kelly says his team has more experience elsewhere and will look to some younger players to fill critical roles.
We've probably got more experience in returning players in our line of scrimmage, offense and defensive line players, but we still have a good mix of skill players that's played in several reps over the last couple of years. But we've got a lot of key young guys that are going to step into some of those skill players. They have all the tools and the abilities to do what we need them to do. They just need a lot of reps. They need a lot of practice reps. They need a lot of game reps. We're excited to see where they're going to take us in the future.
Our defense is really strong. We get to the ball, we fly around, try to make plays. Just a defensively sound team.
While most teams were forced to miss spring workouts because of COVID-19, Caledonia opted to hold spring practice in January. Although it seemed weird at the time, Caledonia sees that those January practices are now paying off.
We got a lot of weird looks when we first did it, but I thought it was a benefit to our program, and now that everything got delayed and school even stopped, it's a big benefit for us. Those young kids that we spoke of earlier were able to get 10, 11 practices under their belt, so they've got some live reps. They've got the terminology and communication. They've been in the locker room, been in a little bit of the war and contact. So it really helps us as a program. We're not really as a major 15 days behind as per se some of these other programs who missed their spring training.
Like it gave us like a bit of a confidence boost since we already got it out the way, and we should be more prepared than other teams that didn't get to do it.
Caledonia is putting a lot of emphasis on its younger players to step up and become physical come the first Friday night of the season.
I want our Cats to be the most physical team when we step on the field on Friday night. I believe our style of play takes care of itself, but our young men have to go produce that. They have to go out there and do it. We can talk about being physical, we can practice being physical, but we actually have to learn to go play physical each and every play and on Friday nights, and I believe that gives us a chance to be successful.
Showing them that we mean business, you know, being aggressive, going out there and hitting them in the mouth. No, we're not playing around or anything. We're out here to set a tone and just go out there and win ball games as physical and as fast as we can.
Caledonia faces its first test against Amory on September 4th. With Caledonia on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Caledonia High School is brought to you by Bloomer's Nursery and Garden Boutique. Shop and save. and Columbus Engine and Crank.
That's it for sports. More for you when we come back.
Still a lot of heavy rain in parts of the area north of Columbus, also down near Macon, Aberdeen, West Point. You're getting in on the action too. Frequent lightning too, a pretty good light show, but this fades away here shortly. As we get into your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, elevated opportunities for showers and storms with the rain chances here. Temperatures not as hot and muggy during the overnights too, in the 70s.
All right, and then cooling off a little bit next week.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for the middle of next week.
Awesome, we love that. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.